Hey there, it's your Wisconsin wine guy, and I am back again with another wine review. And before I get into the details of what this is all about, you're looking at these two wines and may be wondering, why is it he has two different wines in this review? Well, I'm going to tell you when we get to that. But for those who are new, these are wines that you can find on the shelves of your everyday liquor store, grocery store, and wine shop, or wherever you shop for wine. I give these wines a taste, give you my personal opinion, what I think about these wines. It doesn't make it right. These are just a recommendation, my suggestions. Utilizing the infamous thumb rating system. Thumbs up says I recommend this wine. Give it a try. You know, I think it's a pretty solid wine. 3/4. I say, you know what? I would bring this to a party. Or I had this at a party. I'm going to bring some home and share it with my friends. Halfway, something about that wine, it just wasn't vibing with me. It was off, you know, in some areas. I'm going to explain that to you. But it doesn't mean that it's not going to be a good wine for your palate. You give it a taste and let the rest of us know. Thumbs down, always the easy one. Just didn't pass muster. Just didn't work at all. Right? Okay, here we go. So now let's get to what's happening with these two different wines. Now, if you've been following me, and in 2021, I actually did a review of both of these wines with the Pinot Noir and the Chardonnay. So we have the Elouan 2018 Pinot Noir from Oregon, and we have the Boen 2020 Pinot Noir from California. And I did the Chardonnay of both of these at different vintages. I believe the previous vintage on the Elouan, I got my notes here, was 2017, and then the Boen was 2019. So we have a new vintage here. You know how I feel about that. You know, as usual, I don't go back and look at the previous video until after I did the current review. And so I'm looking forward to tasting these wines. But here's why I have the two of these together. I'll tell you that as I pour. I'm going to do a California versus Oregon type tasting. No, it's not going to be a blind tasting. It's going to be a California versus Oregon type tasting. I kind of remember a little bit of what I enjoyed most about these wines before. But I wanted to try these two side by side, you know, because these are brands that I always enjoyed their wines, and I want to try them side by side. Again, California versus Oregon. It's going to be an interesting taste off. Put a little bit more wine in here so we have equal footing or equal levels of wine. So now, just the color alone in the wines, you know, says something. I'm going to get my white background here, but just the colors alone in the wine. So Oregon here, the Elouan, and the California here. So check out those colors. Wow. In this case, believe it or not, in this case, the Elouan is a little bit darker when you get towards the center. Oh, I take that back. You know, lighting. So the California one is a little bit darker when you get towards the center. And the Oregon one, it's very close. It's hard to tell. Take a look. What do you think? But they're very close in color when you look at them, you know. But the California just inks it out just a wee bit. A wee bit. California inks it out. You like how I say that? California inks it out. So now, the Elouan is, again, produced in Oregon, made in they say made in California in the signature copper cane style. So they want to grab and extract a lot more of the fruity qualities of the wine. You know, but even though these grapes are grown in Oregon, it's going to extract and create a California type wine coming out of California. So the grapes themselves are sourced from 3 different parts of Oregon. So you have the northern or northwestern, the central western, and the southwestern part of Oregon, which they source these grapes from, each contributing something unique, you know, to the wine. And now we move to California. The wine is coming from the Pinot Noirs. The grapes are coming from Sonoma County, Santa Barbara, and Monterey County. Again, each of those areas contributing, you know, something unique, you know, to the final product of the wine. You know, so we're looking at alcohol on, you know, I'd be glad when they just put all the alcohol in the same place, right? Would be nice. So alcohol on the Elouan is 13.7, whereas the alcohol on the Boen is 14.7. Woo! A percentage point away. So let's get down to business here. I mean, this is going to be great. California versus Oregon. Give them a swirl. Give them a nose. We're going to smell the California one first. Now, for those of you we're very familiar with California style wines, it's going to be, you know, very opulent with fruit. You know, very ripe fruit nose. So truly, it truly lives up to its style description. Right, fruity up front, cherry, cedar, spice. Wow, nice. Now, when we come over to the Oregon wine, now Oregon wines, you know, would tend to have a little bit more maybe earthy. Fruit would be there, but blended in depending on what their use of oak age is going to be. Both of these a little bit French oak aging. Let's go. So again, fruit is blended in here. So fruit doesn't come up first. It's blended in with the other element. So, oh, and believe it or not, you know, this is more like a dark cherry coming from the Oregon wine versus, you know, not so much dark, but dark cherry with blueberry. But you get more dark cherry here notes here. I mean, this is so cool to have these two wines side by side from two different areas. Oh, again, subtle cedar notes. Ooh, wow, that was great. That was a great on the nose. I mean, so both passed the nose for me, the nose test for me. Now, rinsing. Two-step process for me. Acidity, and then the actual taste. You know, I want to know how the wine's going to coat my mouth. I want to check out the tannins in the wine. I want to see if the wine's going to be balanced. So this is going to be cool to taste one over the other. New vintages. There'll be a link at the end of the video telling you, so you can click and find out what I thought about these earlier vintages. So, rinse first on the Boen. Nice acidity. Total ripe fruit on this one. Total California wine. You can call it New World, but totally California wine. Ripe fruit, but it doesn't skip, you know, on structure itself. Wow, that's pretty nice. Acidity, you know, nice medium acidity to it, but blends very well. Now for the Elouan. Whoops, get that label in. There we go. Okay. Again, good acidity, but lighter. Everything's very well blended, but definitely lighter on the palate as compared to the Boen when it comes to the fruit aspect of it. I mean, nice density of fruit here by comparison, going Pinot Noir versus Pinot Noir. But again, acidity is nice. Wow, now for the taste, and let's like open this up, see what we got. Okay, again, classic California fruit, subtle spice, nice cherry and subtle dark berry fruit characteristics to it. Love the acidity. And you just get like maybe just hints of wood on this, but very hint. But you get definitely fruit forward. Now let's go to the Elouan. Here you get more of that French oak classic. Nice toasty notes here. You know, so it's a little bit more, you know, complex as far as flavor goes coming from here. So what we have here, fruit in the front, fruit in the middle, wood in the background, wood kind of in the foreground, but you know, blended well with the fruit. I mean, just night and day difference between these two Pinot Noirs. Let's go back this way and see what happens. And the tannins come through. Both are very elegant. Both are very nice to drink. My mouth is watering, just so enjoying this. Going back to the Boen, the fruit, it just makes it more juicy, and then you get more of the hint of the oak, the French oak. Wow, this is tough. I can't choose because these are two entirely different styles of wine. This is a clear example of letting your palate be the guide. But two entirely different styles of wine. Well, let's get right to it. You know, both retail at around, say, $16.99 to $24.99. You know, so let's decide. Let's rate this. One more taste, and we give it a rate. I love the subtle, almost like when if you've ever made caramel before, just not burnt sugar, but get to that point of just intense caramelization. That's what you get here. But I love the fruit in this. You know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go double thumbs up on both of these. I mean, they're so different, but so much alike. And it just shows, in this case, and if you have the chance to get both of these and try them side by side, it just shows in this case a small range of what a Pinot Noir can do from two different areas. So there you have it. Wisconsin Wine Guy gives both the 2018 Elouan and the 2020 Boen double thumbs up. And you know what? Again, as I said, this is a clear example of letting your palate be the guide when selecting which Pinot Noir style you prefer. And I'm going to see you next time when we do a review. I don't know which one to choose. I'm going to do like this. So let your palate be the guide. I'll see you next time. Ciao!